I think that it's time to just move ourselves into the next track here on the album. What is up, everyone? And thank you for being here, for coming on back with me today to listen to some music. Talk. We're moving on to the next track off of Lacking Stock. Honestly, okay, if there's like an album reviewer out there that hated this album, that'd actually be a great pun. Lacking Stock, because it lacks whatever. Anyways, I'm enjoying the first track, so let's move on to the second. Laughing Stock. We're moving on to Ascension Day, which I think is kind of an interesting title. Ascension Day, like it's your birthday, but like your Ascension Day. Like this is the day you ascend, you become, you grow, you progress. Could this be a good thing, a bad thing? I don't know. We'll look into it. We'll give it a listen. Let's talk about it after. Let's go. How wonderfully jazzy is that? Wow. That's amazing. And hitting a little bit of the dissonance stick. I love the emptiness of allowing the drums to just ride. There's that organ sliding in. I really like how abrasive that guitar is. That bass is lovely, isn't that? heavy rolls. Okay, I wanted to capture that transition. I wanted to hear because I hit into After the Flood, right, which you just heard it cut off. I love how Ascension Day is to me the perfect build up, okay? You start from jazzy emptiness, allowing the drums to really and truly ride the bass, of course, to stay stately and to make statements within that ride there, and of course everyone else coming in, right? Um, and then it just builds and builds and builds into this little bit of a cataclysm at the end, especially marked by the drum fills, just and then the guitar becoming more frantic as it goes on, and then immediately cuts off into the next track After the Flood here, which, like I said, you heard that little bit of, just a tiny bit of it, just because I wanted to see how that marked in there. And I love that sudden stop. All that chaos, all of that madness just suddenly cut off, and then After the Flood, which of course you would think after some sort of natural disaster or a flood, if you're thinking biblical, after that disaster and a spiritual disaster, you could say. And this Ascension Day seems like it could be a good thing or a bad thing based on the lyrics. So thematically, it kind of works in connection, and I'm only assuming for After the Flood. Obviously, we haven't listened to it. But it makes sense how it builds, and then how it's just cut off. Like death, it just cuts off life. And then, of course, what happens after that flood, after this this disaster, this judgment day, I guess you could even say. So first of all, like I said, the drumming, I love how jazzy that is. I like how there's so much room given for that. And then one thing I really liked is in the chorus of the song, in that returning crash of music, you heard the guitar come in, which just sounds so abrasive within the context of sound that's been going on. When you hear the guitar, it's like, ooh, it's like scratching, not nails on a chalkboard, but it is an abrasive sound from the smoothness that was being brought in before. And then how nicely does the organ eventually come in with that, chopping it up right after. It's like a nice build up within that particular segment of the music that eventually, as we heard near the end here, grows and evolves into just a fully formed and developed cataclysm of music. That is fantastic, and that's why this is an awesome track. Bet I'll Be Damned built the debt I turned twos up today. Bet I'll Be Damned gets harder to sense the sail. So he bets he'll be damned. He bets that he'll be, I guess, in a sense, going to the bad place, basically. And then I like the line, gets harder to sense the sail. The sail on your ship is, of course, what you use to direct you, to navigate the seas, wherever you're going. And he says it's getting harder for him to sense that sail. It's getting harder for him to tell which direction he should be going in, and if he's truly going to the right direction or in the wrong direction. Then he says, farewell, mother, numb to and devout to, reckon luck sees us the same. Interesting that he says numb to, like he can't feel whatever he's trying to devote himself to, but he also says devout to, which means that even if he can't feel it, he still has this kind of faith in it. And then he says, reckon luck sees us the same. You know, luck is just luck. You can't help it if you have it or don't. You know, it's just a chance thing. So this chance is basically what he's relying on. Almost a blind faith kind of situation. Weighted my hand, kill the bet. I'll burn on Judgment Day. Weighted my hand, gets hard hit to sense the sail. Get hard hit to sense the sail. So, you know, weighing on one hand, you know, I bet I'll burn. The other hand, maybe not. You know, so he's doing one of these, I think, because it makes sense. Like you're weighting your hand, scales, right? Like literally the movement that I'm doing right now. Farewell, mother, numb to and devout to. Double deal a season, wrapped too lax to lapse so soon. Nice rhyming in here too. Reckon luck sees us the same. Bet on my back, dealt my hell. I've dealt my months of May. Bet on my back, get parted, Ascension Day. When I see the bed on my back, I think of that story in the Bible in which Jesus, I think, healed the guy and he tells him to like pick up his bed and walk, like he heals him from walking. So that's how I kind of read when I see like him saying bed on my back, like he feels perhaps healed in some capacity in a spiritual way. Dealt my hell, I've dealt my months of May. And then he repeats the end. Reckon love, or luck sees us the same. Then he changes it. Reckon love deals us the same. Love deals us the same cards. But luck is what we draw. I don't know. I think I was onto something, but but I also think that I've lost a little bit of it as I got further in on here. Let's see if there's any notes on this particular track, if I can find something. It says that Ascension Day is considered the band's most chaotic and vicious song, described by Harvell as like a small jazz combo being elbowed aside by a noise rock band, with a climactic barrage of drumming that falls on your ears like an avalanche before the audible tape splice cuts it dead. In the song, Hollis sings about Judgment Day and its inevitable coming, saying farewell to us all. Okay, well, they wrote it a lot better than I said it, but, you know. Let me know what you guys thought of this track. You can let me know in the comments down below. You can follow me over on Twitter. Support the channel and what I do on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy your day, guys. I'll see you all later.